So my mother was actually diagnosed with dementia 4 years ago. And it was a very devastating diagnosis. My sisters, they're four girls, and my dad, it was devastating. And I mean, my mother has always been a very independent woman, very strong woman, and to receive a diagnosis like this. And so when we talk about those tests, she had an MRI done. There were other tests that her doctors had completed, because we noticed that she just started forgetting things. And I think what took us over the top was when she was picking up my youngest son from school, and they called me and said that he was still there. And I called her, and she said, I somehow I just forgot where I was going. I don't understand what happened. And I'm thinking, okay, something's going on. So all of the testing was done, and it came back that she was on the early onset. Well, our doctor that she had been going to had given us a timeline of what we were going to see in regards to some of those symptoms that Dr. Rita talked about: the irritability, the anxiety, just being angry, very impulsive. All of those things we started seeing a lot sooner than what her doctor previously told us was going to happen. And so that was very concerning for us, because we, obviously anyone would just assume at that point that these symptoms were progressing quickly if the timeline had sped up. So we decided that we were going to figure out what we were going to do. I didn't know a lot about Alzheimer's. I didn't know a lot about dementia. I didn't know a lot about these things. And so the fact that we have Dr. Rita giving us this in detail information tonight is so awesome, because so many people don't know about it. We know what we hear about it. You may see a dab here and there on movies. You may see a few things in some literature, but not really know the in-depth details about what brings it on, what those symptoms are, until it really hits home. And it really hit home for us. And so I started looking into a few things and learned that CBD was an alternative option. When Dr. Rita had those medications up there, they actually put my mother on Exelon, and she was doing that in patches. So we would put the patches on her. You had to alternate either the right arm, the left part of the back, the right part of the back. And why? Because if you put the patch on the same place, it would create this burn on her skin. And we were thinking, well, if it's burning her skin, then, is that really helpful? But nevertheless, because we were quite honestly desperate to find something to help her, we did it. But we just tried to remember to alternate the sides. Well, a few times that didn't happen. And we noticed that in the places where the patches, because she was with me one day and I put it on the left side, and she went with my sister the next day and my sister put it on the left side, we started noticing that we would see these dark patches where her skin was literally burned. But again, being in such a desperate state, we thought, okay, just let us not forget to do that moving forward. But nevertheless, just let me speed this up. We decided that we were going to entertain the use of CBD. And I'm just so thankful that we did, because I started seeing articles that said that CBD would certainly help with some of those symptoms. And we started giving her the Wakana products. And as Dr. Rita talked about, those tinctures under the tongue, my mother had become so non-cooperative that we just knew that we were not going to be able to get her to put those tinctures under her tongue and hold them there for the amount of time that she needed to do in order for it to be effective. We knew that wasn't going to happen. In addition to that, we knew that even if she held it for that 30 to 60 seconds, she was not going to just say, well, I'm not going to drink anything for the next 30 minutes. So we just knew that was just not going to work. Well, the blessing was the water soluble. We knew that we could put that in anything that she was drinking, as Dr. Rita went through. You can put it in anything. So we started putting it in her juice. We would put it in her coffee. We would put it in her foods. We were using the seasonings, and the seasonings are amazing. They taste great, and she loved it. The gummies, her sweet tooth, that need for something sweet increased drastically. So to see that the gummy was sugar coated, she just thought it was a piece of candy. We would give that to her. We would give her the water solubles. And I'm telling you, we saw a drastic change in her. She was more calm. She was fun again. You know, we could sit around and watch TV again and watch movies, where initially, you know, you try to put on a movie, she wouldn't sit still. She became very agitated. She's thinking something's missing and all that. And again, those things aren't going away because the disease itself is not cured, but those symptoms make it so much more manageable and tolerable. And that's just the truth. And as a caregiver, because that's what we ended up having to become, you know, it's sometimes it can wear you out. And so all of these things with her just have become so much more tolerable. And I wish I could show you guys this video that we just did with her for my birthday. My birthday was just a couple of weeks ago, and we had dinner. And my family came, and of course we were being safe, but nevertheless, I wish you could see the happiness, the joy, the dancing she did. Even in the video, she's telling us don't steal her moves. I mean, all of this was my old mother. These were the things that we grew up with, her being fun and just having such an awesome personality. And that is what this product has done. It has helped her tremendously, and I just don't know what we would do without it. So much so, and I'll end with this. My sisters, again, they're 4 girls, and we all have my mother different days of the week. And I'm telling you right now, my sisters do not play. They make sure that everyone's home is stocked with water soluble and gummies. We do not play that. When they get low, they will call me and say, hey, let's get this order done, because we have got to make sure that we do not run out, because it has been that much of a pleasure. And even when her doctor notices a difference because of going to the doctor, and you know, initially she would be irritated there, and her doctor now says, wow, what are you guys doing? And when I shared it with her, thinking that there may have been some level of scrutiny from her doctor did not. She said, absolutely, continue to do it. It's working. I've seen studies. We're researching this. It's constantly happening. And I know that CBD works on those symptoms. So don't stop what you're doing. Well, when I heard that, I'm thinking this is absolutely, well, I'm going to be honest. I was probably going to continue anyway, because I know what I saw with my own 2 eyes. I know what my sisters have been seeing. I know what everyone else has been seeing, and we were going to continue. But her doctor did give us the green light. And I'm telling you, it has been such a blessing. So for anyone listening, please give it a try. Invite people, give them some information, share it with them, and let them know that there are alternative options. And again, as I shared, that Exelon patch burned her skin. So this CBD has just been amazing, and we're never, ever, ever going to stop. And I know my mother's going to be here for another 100 years. She's probably going to outlive me. And she's going to do that being happy and having some peace and not having that anxiety and that irritability and that frustration. I don't want her like that. I don't want her living her last days like that. And so this has just been an awesome, awesome blessing for me.
Wow. Oh my gosh. What a testimony. What a testimony. So awesome.